Hey, so if you're tired of spending money to get clients, or maybe you just run out of money, or you don't want to put money into getting clients, for whatever reason, I'm going to show you how you can get clients using manual outreach, using emails, phone calls, DMs, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I'll cover in this video. So no automations, just pure hustle. Let's go. How to get clients for free. That's why you clicked on this video. I'll first begin by saying you don't need money to get clients, and I'll show you why in this video. There's so many things you can do to acquire clients, and I'll show you basically 10 strategies. But the big idea, the paradigm shift, right? Like most people believe you need to run ads, have a fancy inbound engine, just basically do hundreds of thousands of emails every single month in order to get clients. While that's true, it is not the whole truth itself. You don't need this whole system for you to get clients. And I'll explain exactly why. In fact, the highest converting systems are basically completely free and all it requires is just a little bit of elbow grease and your time. And why most people don't do it is because they're lazy or they're already scaling up and their time is better spent elsewhere, which is totally fine. But if you're just starting out and if you're looking into getting clients for free, then you should spend some time rather than actual money in order to get clients. And I'll show you where your time is best spent. It's not going to require software. It's not going to require any spend. So it's not going to be hey, you need to, it's not any spend, but you need to pay for leads. You don't need to pay for leads. I'll show you how to get those for free as well. All you need is a phone, internet, and basically time. Better yet, if you have a laptop, even better. The only trade-off, right? Like manual outbound is slow and unscalable, but that's not a problem if you just want a few clients and you're happy with that, right? The biggest reason most people don't do this is if they're starting out, it's because they're lazy. But if they're scaling, it's because it's not scalable, right? But it is precise, personal, and free. So if you're at early stage and need clients without budget, this is your path. Or I'll show you the game plan from first principles, so basically breaking down to the core components of it. So first principles and mental models you need to have. Think about manual outbound. Manual outbound works because of these truths. Business is only built on relationship. The only relationship starts with conversations. And you can do this manually. Personalization crushes automation, which is pretty much true because even with AI being so good nowadays, if you spend 10-15 minutes researching into a prospect manually, there are some tools, there are some stuff you cannot get from a lead list, from AI automations, right? So that way, if people get hit with those AI automation emails, they're gonna be okay, they might reply to it. But if you literally dive specifically into what they're doing and how you can help them, it is going to come through and scream at them that, hey, this person really spent some time to actually create this. So this is why it's going to work a lot better, right? A message written for one person always outperforms a templated blasted to thousands, right? Attention is earned and not bought. The strategy earns it through hustle, not spend. So mental model is basically hand-to-hand prospecting. Just picture yourself as a door-to-door sales rep, just digital. You're not scaling yet. You're only proving the offer, learning the language of your actual target market, and building your first client base from scratch. I'm going to give you the blueprint as well. So basically, get free clients. You need a platform, you need a personalized message, consistent volume, times that by time, and this is going to get you a ton of free clients. Here's your platform stack. So for email, you could use your Gmail, your personal Gmail. And this is where it comes back to. You don't need a fancy business account. You can just use your personal one. And believe me or not, it has a really good reputation already because you used it probably for years. And it is going to land most likely in the inbox. So you could use your Gmail or Outlook, whatever personal account you have. And then you can use your LinkedIn account. If you don't already have one, just set one up today. It's going to take a little bit of time to warm up. Instagram, again, if you don't already have one, it is very crucial. X as well. You can use SMS, WhatsApp, and iMessage if you're messaging domestically. And also if you're messaging to iPhone, if you have an iPhone, zero cost, right? Phone calling, also if you're paying for your phone bill, this should come for free. So cold or warm call, if legal in your region, which it should be. If you're not sure, just go back to our cold call, warm call video, and I'll tell you more about that. I'm gonna give you two-pronged angles or approaches you should be considering. So number one is cold outreach. The other one is content planning. So this is one of the reasons why most people fail, is because they're not consistent with either one of these. Just do both, right? I'll explain why. So email, LinkedIn, and all of this good stuff is it's active, right? So you're sending those emails, you're doing those research videos, or just whatever else you're sending. This is active. You're going to get results right out the gate. So if you're sending 100 emails, you're probably going to get like 10% reply rate if you're doing this manually, and if you're doing this quite like half decently, but you're gonna get that like within a day or two, like a max, right? But if you post content, which I'll explain, it's gonna take weeks, it's gonna take months, it's gonna take years. So you need to be consistent with that. So I recommend to do both, because content planning is passive. It's gonna take time. You cannot predict it. You cannot rely on it. And cold outreach is instant like that. So for cold outreach, you need to search, qualify, message your ideal prospects directly. Just basically do like 20 to 50 touch points per day, email, DM, cold call. And another thing you can do is, if you find someone, you most likely have their email, their LinkedIn, if possible, their X and Instagram, as well as their phone number, right? Most likely, if you have someone's contact, you have their email and LinkedIn. If you found them through social media, then you might have their multiple social media accounts, right? It's quite easy to connect. As for content planning, just daily, weekly posts on LinkedIn, X, Instagram, as well as YouTube and YouTube Shorts. Build a long-term awareness while your outbound is working for you on the short. This is what comes back to what I already mentioned previously. Okay, so here is the sprint challenges and the discovery exercise. So here I've listed for you some checkpoints you can do. So basically just list 3 platforms where your ideal client hangs out: LinkedIn, Instagram, X. So just pick those and commit to those. Write 3 personalized cold email messages for each platform. Commit to reaching out to 100 new people per day for 30 days. This is really not much, but if you send this volume, it's going to be 3,000 per month. And like I said, you can easily reach 10% reply rate, right? And that's 300 replies. If you take into account that, okay, let's take you're not that good, 10% positive reply rate, your offer is quite shit. So it's still 30%. So it's still 30 good positive replies. Let's say that, out of these, you get a 50% booking ratio. Not the best. This comes out to 15 calls. If you're closing only, say, because you're not that good again, is 10%, right? That's 1.5 clients each month, right? For absolutely free. And that's only if you're doing this amount of volume, just separated onto the platform. If you're doing this on all platforms you selected, so email, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, as well as SMS, you could be doing like 500 messages per day. And if you times 1.5, so whatever we calculated by 5, you're gonna get basically almost 8 clients for free, right? Just crazy. You just got to do the work, right? Again, just commit to this and you're going to see results. I know it might be a little bit hard when starting out. It takes a lot of time, but hey, if you want clients for free, if you want results for free, it's what you got to do, man. Got to track the replies, the meetings, the closes in a spreadsheet. If you need help with that, if you have no idea how to build those, you can just book a call with me and I'll happily explain how to do it. Or we have already made videos on this, so just go back to the channel and just watch those. It's already out there for free. I'm not going to charge you anything for it. You got to post content for 3 weeks minimum on one platform. The reason this is good, because even if you're doing outbound, you might be thinking, hey, I don't need to post inbound content. You do, buddy. The reason is because people check your social profiles that you're sending messages from. And if they just see it's, number one, it's non-relevant content, it's a dead account, they're going to think you're a bot, you're a spammer, you're fake, or, just best case scenario, they're going to think you have absolutely no authority to talk about or just even pitch them to begin with. So you got to post this content to stay relevant, to let them know you have some idea that you're, what you're talking about and what you're pitching them. You got to do this. This is bare minimum. This is non-negotiable. Even if you don't want to do content posting, just have your account set up so it looks like it's legit, right? Like, for example, these are one of our, alt accounts on X for Levi. This is one of our alt accounts on Instagram. I'll show you how these look. But basically, it is like a carbon copy of our like main accounts. And as you can see, like, we have some followers, we have like a description going, we have some photos from the main account itself. It looks half decent, and of course, like, it's not the best yet because we don't have like reels, highlights, but we already posted stories onto it. So, as you can see, I could just easily post those, which I have on my main account. So it's just very, very simple, right? Like, as you can see, the wins here, people could just scroll through these for days. And this is what we just post on the alt accounts as well. So if people look at it, they see this. Or you could do another thing is just link your old account to your main account. That works quite well. But you know, if you look at Levi's like old account on X, you're never gonna think this is not his main account. So that's the whole point, right? You want to make it live, you want to make it lively. Just post, even though you're not posting just for the sake of content posting, you are posting because of the sake people are gonna check who you're, you know, who's messaging them in the first place. Okay, so with that cleared up, make sure you stick to those and you're gonna be good to go. Just do at least, man, just do at least like 100 new messages per day, new people a day. It's not a lot. I think maybe it takes you like 2, maybe 3 hours. If you want to do more, you're gonna get more results. But you know, if you're doing anything less than this, it's not gonna make sense because you're not gonna get, you know, any results from this. It is not something you can like realistically like count on. It's just so few. Like think about like how many people are seeing your content and your stuff every day. It's like 30 people. It's literally nothing, right? Like we're sending out millions of emails every single month, and even that's just like barely scratching our market. So you got to think about these. So is it even worth your time if you're sending like 20, 30? No, it's not. Send at least 100, or you're pretty much wasting your time. You're better off, you know, spending some money on getting this stuff done faster. So one thing I want to stress is just don't mess it up. What most get wrong, I'll just tell you like the top 5 mistakes so you can save yourself some time. Mass messaging people without personalization. You might be thinking you're a little bit smart because you've written out your 3 little nice copies and you're like, hey, I'm gonna do what Sabo says. I'm gonna send like 500 messages to new people every day, but you're gonna use the messages you already written out. Basically just bulk message them with the same offer, the same messaging. You're not smart if you want to do that. I'll tell you why. Because people are already doing this, but with automations, and with that it makes a little bit of sense. Even that I don't advise to do it, because just use AI to like somewhat personalize the messages. But this is like what most people are doing with automation. So you're basically doing that manually. So you're burning your time. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. The reason you're doing this manually in the first place is because you're spending time to research these prospects. So for the love of God, don't do this. Stop after 7 to 14 days due to no replies or no meetings. Sure, you're probably not gonna see the results I'm talking about in the first week, because this is something new to you. You're absolutely doing something new. Just don't give up. Just literally like spend the first month to learn it. Second month, you're going to see some clients, right? You know, there have been some people who've done this system and they've closed in, you know, 1 week, but most likely that's not you. And you got to be ready for this, right? It's basically like a 1% chance that it's you. I'm not that lucky. You're probably not that lucky. So, you know, we have to stick with the proven system and just, you know, keep showing up every day and just do the work, put your head down, and you're going to be fine in the long run. Just don't quit. The worst thing that you could do is quit. You're not gonna lose if you don't quit. And it sounds like some bullshit motivation, but literally if you just follow this, you're gonna see results. And the reason you're not is most likely you're not sending enough volume, or you're just not putting enough work into it. Data will show over time what is actually going on. So like it could be like first 2 weeks you're not seeing anything, but the third week you're seeing meetings, and the fourth one you're actually closing clients. So just take your time and just, you know, scope back and see everything from a bird's eye view. Don't be tunnel visioned. Just make sure you focus on the task at hand. All right. Another thing is people are not using trackers. It's just stupid, man. So if you're not tracking what you're doing, number one, you're gonna forget who replied, and there's gonna be so many people who's gonna message you. You're not gonna be able to see like, okay, this guy showed me on a call. This guy says he wants to do a follow-up chat. This guy was lost in between like the interested reply as well as like booking a call, but he never booked. There's gonna be so many of these. Do you realistically think you can track all of these in your head? No. If you're saying you can, you're probably not doing enough outreach in the first place, or you're probably lying to yourself. So, you know, just get a tracker. If you need a tracker, again, just go back to our previous videos, and, you know, I talk about it all the time, why it's important to track the results. So if you need a tracker, just go to the description. It's going to be the second link in the description. I'm basically sharing everything with you. All right, relying on one channel only. For example, you might be thinking, hey, I'm going to put all my energy into LinkedIn. It's not smart. Putting all your eggs in one basket, as the saying goes, it's going to ultimately lower your chances of success, because it might be that email is absolutely cooked for you. It's not going to work. LinkedIn is cooked for you. Instagram, but you find great success on X. Who knows? I have no idea the offer you're running. And even, you know, I'm surprised by the fact that, you know, some of our offers run really, really well on platforms I have no idea about why it's working. So on X, because usually on X it's very hard to like filter down the people if you're doing automated messages, but we're getting really good prospects through there. So you never know unless you test it, right? So you got to do multiple stuff. Again, this just goes back to don't be lazy and just do everything you can, because you're at a point, if you cannot spend money on outreach, just try to at least give yourself the advantage that is given to you by doing this method. All right, next is never posting content. Again, nobody sees you and it doesn't build credibility. So just for the sake of what I mentioned here, just post at least like for 3 weeks, at least like 3, 4, 5 content, so people see that you're actually not fake, you have some credibility, even if you're not doing inbound. All right, okay, so to fix these, track everything, follow up 3 to 5 times, post weekly, be aggressively helpful in your outreach. Okay, term leverage, how to get better faster, optimizing and overall masters. So once you've proven your offer and you're booking 3 to 5 calls every week manually, automate repetitive outreach tasks. You can start with a template, you can hire a VA. And another thing is, you don't need to worry about building your website if you don't already have one, because it's going to take time away from booking and closing those calls. What you need to worry about is basically starting outreach today, because that's what's going to make you money. You don't need to focus on building a fancy VSL, a fancy website, because people are not going to see it. You just need to book calls. That's all you need to do. Focus on the other stuff. Don't worry about making this scalable, because it's not the point of it. Just make sure you're actually doing the stuff so you can book meetings and close people. Just don't worry about making it scalable, because absolutely it's not going to be scalable. You're going to need to build a whole new infrastructure if we want to make this scalable. And we have videos on that. I'll go more in depth into that as well. There's some other videos, but this is just solely focused on getting clients for free. So don't stress about it. I know a lot of people are. Just focus on the task at hand. What do you want? You want free clients? So just do this. Don't worry about what this system is gonna be like if it's scalable, because I'm just gonna tell you it's not scalable. It's built for one purpose, and that one purpose is just to get you clients for free. And if you're looking to get those clients for free, just follow this. If you're looking to get clients, you could do that with paid ads, you can do that with paid outbound, a whole bunch of stuff. Like paid inbound, like you hire content editors who's going to edit your videos, who's going to make like hundreds of shorts, and posting hundreds of shorts, hundreds of thousands of people are going to see it. And that means that more eyeballs, more people see your content, people are going to book calls with you, and you're going to make money. So there's infinite amount of ways you can actually scale, but this is not that. So just keep that in mind at all times. Okay, layer in content repurposing. So you could do one YouTube video into 5 social media posts. Usually we cross post content on different platforms. So if you post a video on YouTube, we're going to post that on LinkedIn on all of our accounts, so more people see it. It just gives you more leverage, more authority, since you have a more established account, as well as good for the inbound purposes. Okay, so start building your inbound systems. You can see the inbound mastery module if you're inside the Citadel. If not, I don't think we posted any inbound content yet much on the channel, so you're gonna have to wait and see what we have for that. Eventually, plug in paid ads when the budget allows. So this is what I talked about. So many ways to do it. This is just what you got to keep in mind. Don't worry about this. This phase is all about, again, just muscle of consistency, not building your empire, not yet at least, right? So the no money action plan, I'm going to give you the call to action, the implementation. So choose your 2 core outreach messages. Set a daily prospecting quota, 20 contacts a day. I recommend you to do more, but you could do less, so 20 contacts a day per platform. You can build a simple tracker, or if you want this document, it's again going to be second link in the description. And stick to this system for minimum 12 months. I know it might sound a little bit harsh, but this will guarantee you will sign clients. Likely you will sign clients within the first 1 to 2 months. So this is why I'm saying, like, just commit to this for 12 months. And what I mean by this is, you can drop the manual outreach, but still like focus on the inbound, because that is going to get you a ton of results in 12 months. So remember, you're trading time for clients, so make it count. The more time, the better quality outreach messages you do, the better time you spend researching the prospects, the better replies you're going to get, the better prospects you're going to talk to, and ultimately the more closes you're going to have. So it's all about how much you put in, how much you're getting out. It's mostly like this in terms of like business and life in general. So this was my 2 cents on the topic. If this helped you out in any way, if you just want to thank me for for taking my time to create this. You can just shoot a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.